heel positions. We've worked through our sits and downs and stays and really starting that formal, how do we get there? And so we're going to use Bora here, and just take me through the steps, Michelle, of a formal come. Like, what does that look like?
Okay. So a formal come is going to be the dog is honestly anywhere, but they have to come to you and they have to sit right in front of you.
Okay.
Formally, I think you're supposed to use the word in front,
okay,
not here.
Okay.
But
so if we're doing a real formal training session, then my command would be to front.
Correct.
Not here.
Right.
Which makes sense because for him, if we call him to us, it's just
right.
It's come into us. You know, we need to either put
exactly.
on or something like that. It's not. We don't stand up and just call our dogs.
Right.
To here, because especially if you're out hiking, you're not going to go here and have this real formal type thing.
Exactly.
So
here usually is I just want them to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we're going to use a front command then.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we'll see how this goes with Bora because he really loves food, but let's grab some treats.
Okay. He hates the camera, but he loves food, so we'll see what he does.
Yeah, he might just not. He might just like, never mind, I don't want to do this.
He's like, I can't do
so he's in the perfect position where I want him right now.
Okay.
All I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you step back and call him to front.
Okay.
And we are going to use the word since it's a motion.
Okay. And do I give any pressure, or do I just step back and kind of lure him here? Or?
Yep. So you'll lure him and pressure him with.
Okay. So give some pressure as well.
Yes.
Okay. And as I'm stepping, do I apply the pressure and tell him front?
Yes.
All in one motion. Okay. And say his name.
That's how does Bora react to his name? Because I don't personally use that. No.
Okay.
I just say.
Okay.
Front.
Front.
Good.
Good. Front.
These floors aren't they, right? He's like, no.
Poor old man. Oh, there's freebie.
Freebie, woo!
You can teach old dogs new tricks. You've never done front with him. Nice, that's good.
Perfect, so go ahead and take a step back and call him to front. Good, good, perfect. Left out the pressure as soon as he is in a sit
front.
At your front.
So
right
okay.
now we can definitely fine tune this later.
Okay.
Like we want him as close as possible to you.
Okay.
But just right now we kind of more want the motion of him coming to you and sitting.
Okay.
Which is totally fine.
So we don't care how close he is to us. It's just
not yet. Nope. We'll definitely fine tune it and get him closer and closer.
Front.
Good. That was perfect.
Good. That's good. Front.
Nice.
Here's a little dog. 11-year-old German Shepherd learning something new. That's pretty good. Front.
Nice. Perfect. Also, a few other things. So that's great. Once you get that, you'll definitely start fine tuning it and correcting him more if he doesn't get close. Okay. But there is going to be other times in formal training that he will be not in front of you. So if we're already in a heel position, and does Bora know how to do it? I assume Bora knows how to do a heel.
I don't know if he'll do it in a long time. That's good.
That's perfect. So he's in more of a heel type position.
Yep.
And so we're going to call him to front, but by doing that, we're going to do the luring of the motion with the treat instead of
us moving?
Yes.
Okay. Front.
Good.
Good.
And actually there is two ways to do it. You can back up. And it depends in actual, like if you're in the show ring, it really depends on what the sign is.
Okay.
So I personally prefer to do this one, and I prefer to do it first because the signs that you can back up on, you don't have to.
Okay.
So, but it is an option. If you're in a motion, you can back up. If you're already in a motion, but if you're asking them to come and you're not already moving, but you don't have to.
Okay.
So for me, it's
easier to
it's just easier to teach it you being planted on the ground. It's a little easier for the dog if you're backing up to lure them that way, but I personally never actually do the backup motion ever. So
front. Nice. Oh,
once again, we can definitely fine tune his butt where it is later. As long as he's coming to front and sitting in front of you, that's great. And some dogs, like Bora, already obviously knows his, like he's got to sit for you.
Yeah.
But most dogs won't do that, so you might have to add a sit into that.
Front and then sit.
And then sit. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. As soon as they get around, then you'll ask them to sit.
Okay. Would I ever ask him to front and to down?
I don't think there is a front and down.
Okay.
And not in actual formal, I don't think there is. It's not a bad thing to teach your dog, but
maybe it's just a position, huh? Yeah. Okay. Front. What?
nice.
Very good. Yay. Heel. Right here. Heel. Good.
Nice.
Hey. Good. Good. Front.
Good. Very nice.
Good boy.
Bora will do anything for a treat.
Even if he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yep.
Good boy. Nice. That's good for me. So at what point, that's good. Easy, easy. At what point do I stop the hand motion? Like, how do I know when to stop that hand motion of
So you mean
luring
luring with the actual treat?
Yeah, so I don't want to, I just want to say front. And like, how do I know that my dog's ready to come into front for the food instead of luring him into
So we'll
the food?
slowly start decreasing your hand motions.
Got it.
So for the first few times, usually we'll do this for the first couple of weeks, you'll use the hand motion.
Okay.
And then we'll start just like using the hand motion, but it will be more of just a relaxed hand motion.
Got it.
And then we'll stop. Like
So
it'll just be slowly.
slowing down. Like,
Correct.
This isn't a rush. It's going to take time.
Yeah,
to get
formal
this.
obedience is it's a process.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. So when you started your journey to head into rally training, how long did it take you to get Murphy where you felt like I'm comfortable enough to go into the ring?
Probably 8 months
Okay.
of working him almost every single day.
Okay.
Part of that is my confidence too as well.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you have to be ready. Too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
But even that, like there's still times that we still have to practice stuff that he's not exact on, that we're still fine tuning,
Okay.
getting the butt around, and he's 5 now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
I really think with formal obedience, it's a constant thing because it is formal. Like it is not something we naturally do every single day.
Right.
It is something that and I don't expect him to sit
Yeah.
right next to me every time I ask him to sit. Like
Right. Yeah.
day to day, that would be insane.
That's
That he
way
would have to be a soldier that way.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like we're always fine tuning it
Okay.
with formal stuff.
Okay. And when you're just because we're not going into the show ring, what's the benefit of doing formal training and taking your dog to this level?
I think there's a lot of benefit to it. Bora is extremely getting tired already, and we've
Yeah.
only been doing this for a few minutes, just
Yeah.
working his brain that he has to be so like fine tuned. Is a big thing. The fact that if there is ever a dangerous situation, I can put Murphy into a hill and he is on me and not what's going on in the world.
Got it.
Stays are huge that can save your dog's life.
Yep.
And that they do have to be at that formal state
Yeah.
to really distract everything else out, like to block everything else out. And
So if I said I'm not heading into the show ring, would you still recommend that I put the time into getting my dog to this level? What would you say?
absolutely. And a huge part of that is just so you have time to bond with your dog.
Yeah.
Any training you do with your dog, I would encourage.
Yeah.
For you and the dog.
Yeah.
It's just time that you get to spend together and enjoy it.
Right.
Like, even if it is not an actual formal, like, any time you spend with your dog is great.
Yep.
So,
Perfect.
and they love it. Bora's
Yeah.
going to sleep well later, and we've only been in this for 5 minutes.
Then you go back to bed.
So,
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Michelle.